My name's Ian Sefcik. I work in the Capitol Records building in Hollywood, California, and I'm a mastering engineer. For me, mastering was a good mix of the history I have with music and my technical abilities. As soon as I got into music when I was a teenager, I started taking apart my amplifiers, and then I started building tube amplifiers, and my setups in bands were always these, totally hodgepodge put together amps and speaker cabinets. And I do a combination of digital mastering and cutting. Lately, cutting's been so popular, I usually at least have one title a day to cut, sometimes two. Sometimes it'll take a while to set up a project, QCing the music, making decisions about EQ and how I want it to sound on the vinyl. Then there's cutting, which is in real time. There's a question I ask people, I say, do you know how many grooves are on a 12-inch record? One. It's just one groove from beginning to the end. And so yes, when you cut, it's in real time. You just have to wait for the whole record, and you put the spaces in between, and there's certain things you do. So that's mainly my day, is listening to music. It's not vinyl when I work with it. It's a lacquer. It's aluminum disc, and then it's got a very soft substrate on it. It's like nail polish. And I put it on this old Neumann VMS 66. It's a German lathe made in '66. And the story behind this lathe is that I started here as a studio tech, and after about a month or two, I had it in pretty much working order, and vinyl started to go up in popularity. The orders were starting to pour in, and it was just the right timing for me to start cutting. The first cut I did was Public Enemy. One of the It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, I think that was the record. And that was really hard because it was a really long record. The longer the record, the harder it is to cut at a certain volume. A lot of things about the lathe and about cutting, there's a lot of artistic decisions that you have to make, because a lot of the kids these days have very cheap record players. And if you make a really nice audiophile quality cut with a lot of volume, they'll distort on the cheaper record players, and they'll think there's something wrong with the record. But that brings me to another question, and that is the whole, why do you think kids are buying so much vinyl now? To have and to hold a piece of artwork like an album, there's something to that. There's something physical, something that can, like you can collect. Who cares about collecting MP3s? It's like you fill up a hard drive, like, so what? I cut the Glass Animals record, Zaba. That record has such a beautiful cover. It was just gorgeous artwork, and I opened it up. I remember kind of staring into it, and it really made me feel, oh yeah, this is when I was a kid. This is what it was like. You just stare at the record cover. A collection, that's an important thing, to have things, to, it kind of documents your history of music, or trading, and if you do decide to step up and buy really good equipment and a good record player and a great phono preamp, you can get a really incredible auditory experience from vinyl as well. Because it's another interpretation of the music. That's why I think it's going to last. Vinyl is going to keep selling. Actually, since I listen to so much music at work every day, I do have a record player at home, and I've built my own phono pre, and I got really into that, trying to get the best sound quality I could. But to be honest, I just don't listen at home because I've been listening all day at work.